How do you learn to live sober? How do you learn all the things you need to know to live a sober life, a sober, happy, healthy life? Why do you have to learn them? Why can't someone just tell you what to do? Now, this is something that's come up from some of the clients I've been seeing, and some of the training which I did over the last couple of weeks. And what's been coming up is this situation of people thinking, right, I've stopped drinking or using whatever substance. Why have I still got the same horrible thinking going on? Why have I still got the obsession? Why am I still craving it? Why am I still getting so wound up by stuff? Why can't I let things go? Why? It's like I've done the hard bit. I've stopped using. Why don't I feel better? And I've said this so many times, but the reasons we used or abused our drug of choice do not go away because we stop using our drug of choice. Our abuse of our drug of choice is a symptom of the problems that already existed. Our use of our drug of choice is simply what we did to escape from those pre-existing habits, routines, issues, frustrations, fears. And when you stop taking, there's nowhere to hide. So what I'm seeing with my clients is them saying, I've stopped and now it's difficult and I don't know what to do. And the problem I have as a counsellor is I'm not there to tell them what to do. I'm there to help them resolve any underlying issues. I'm there to help them explore what the problem might be in a non-judgmental environment so that hopefully they can take a new perspective on those issues and come to their own solution. So what I can't say is, oh, try this. You need to just do, if this happens, do this. If you do, I'm not there to do that. There's a lot of places, groups, recovery solutions, ways of sobriety where you can get advice. That's not what I'm there to do. But what I think the crux of all these solutions, advice, things they might get elsewhere is you have to put it into practice. You have to practice each of these things to find out what works for you. And ultimately, in doing those things, you have to go through some pain. you have to go through dealing with it the hard way. You have to go through experiencing that frustration, anger, anxiety, fear, depression without reverting to your old behavior, by sitting with your emotions, by letting the anxiety dissipate, letting the adrenaline decline, and then saying, okay, I haven't just done my normal irrational process. I haven't just run away from it and picked up a drink to block it out, to make me feel good temporarily. I have experienced that frustration, anger, pain, depression, unhappiness, whatever, despair, fear. I've experienced that, and now I can take one of those tools out of the basket and use it. And I'm not a fan of that. I now have the tools I have now the tools of recovery to get through anything. I hate that phrase, because it's weird to me. It doesn't feel like a basket of tools. For me, it's more like it's a library of experiences. It's a library of experiences where if something happens that brings up that old feeling of fear, anxiety, frustration, now I don't go, right, what do I need to do now? I need to do a breathing exercise. I need to do this. I need to look at it from someone else's perspective. I need to let it go. I just need to sleep on it. I don't really do that anymore. I don't take a tool out the basket to use it. What I have is a knowledge that when that happened before, I used to turn to a drink. I know that when that happened before in sobriety, I sat with it and it was painful. It was hard. It was harder than just running to the shop and buying a bottle of vodka, but I got through it because all of my catastrophizing and desperate, dreading thoughts only left me in a state of fear and desperation and dread for a certain amount of time, and then I took action which resolved it. So now, if it happens again, I just say, well, I got through it. I don't have to take that tool out the box again. I just know that something was scary and the worst didn't happen. I just got through it. I learnt that I can do it without a drink. And so now I've had enough experiences where I don't even have to say to myself, oh, I had that bad experience, I knew I can get through a similar experience. Now it's just like the library's so big, I've got it all covered. And whatever happens, I just know that the best solution for me is anything other than drinking. The best solution for me is anything other than my old behavior. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it in my last video, the whole painkillers stuff and what have you. I was in hospital thinking, you know, back in the day, I could have just woken up, and if I was in excruciating pain like I am in that moment, I could have just grabbed whatever drink was next to my bed and the pain would have been gone. Majority of the pain would have been gone in 10 minutes. I was in hospital thinking, oh, if only I still drank, then I wouldn't have had to lie in bed in excruciating pain for hours for the ambulance to come and get me and take me in and do a weekend in hospital and all that, because I could have just drunk whatever was beside my bed and gone through, because alcohol is the best painkiller. Like, that I knew. I mean, not many people sit at home with a a bottle of oral morphine by the side of the bed, just in case they have back spasms. you know, but available home painkillers. Yeah, alcohol was good. Like, I mean, I remember when I was like 20, I had this massive accident, and I started off on, what was it? I started off with like a literally never-ending prescription of diazepam, and I found out that a couple of pints was better than a couple of pills, because it's a great painkiller and I'd have fun. But anyway, I digress. I should have said that in the other video. Where was I? So yeah, now my library of knowledge, my library of experience tells me that I can get through anything. If I'm having trouble at work, if I'm having trouble with family or friends, if I'm frustrated, if I'm bored, if I'm anxious, if I'm depressed, if somebody does something or something happens that brings back those old emotions, I know that the worst thing I can do is have a drink. I don't need to grab a tool. I don't need to ask someone. I don't need to think it over. I just know instantaneously. What's the word? No, not instantaneously. I know. There's a word I can't remember. Anyway, I'm just not going to have a drink. And it's annoying, because I can't just say to my clients, well, just don't have a drink. You go, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, just don't have a drink. It's like, I mean, I can't tell them what to do, but that would be like really crappy advice to give. Just don't have a drink. I mean, yes, so whatever you do, don't have a drink. Don't return to your old thing. But they want more than that. They want, okay, but what can I do? And it's like, well, you just got to deal with it. And that's also crappy advice. Like, oh, I mean, all this stuff, what do I do? You'll be all right. It's not how I can or should respond. Yeah. So yeah, you just unfortunately you have to learn. And you will. It annoyingly is kind of simple. It is just, whatever you do, if you don't have a drink, it will be better than if you do have a drink or whatever substance. And following this experience, you will be able to look back at it and say, you know what? Whatever it is I did, whatever you chose to do, it did actually turn out better than starting another bender and getting arrested, or ending up in hospital, or ending up in mental health crisis, or ending up in a police station, or having arguments and fights and losing your money and, I don't know, becoming high. Whatever you did, the result will probably be better than whatever could have happened if you had a drink. So yeah, learning is long and hard. You know, I've got just over 4 years of sobriety. I've got another 3 years before that of relapse and trying different things, of failing. And it's weird to think about it like that. You know, I had those 3 years of learning when I kept relapsing, and I did learn from every relapse. I did learn that, no, I can't just have a blowout on one night. It'll never be one night. No, I can't just let some tears out with a bottle of vodka. No, I can't just have some sleeping tablets to help me get to sleep, because it'll end up getting out of control. I did learn stuff, just didn't stay sober. So I learned an awful lot in those 3 years of relapse. But now I'm kind of at that point where I've learned just as much about myself in 4 years of abstinence as I did in 3 years of relapse. And it's where I haven't really thought about that before. I hadn't thought about that before making this video. I've learnt very different things. An awful lot from doing my counselling course. An awful lot from just being sober. An awful lot from doing this channel. And just trying to help people. So yeah, we keep on learning. We keep on learning. One of the best things I ever heard was a guy who said, if you stay sober and keep listening, eventually the penny drops. Something will make sense. Light bulb moment, eureka moment, whatever. And if you keep on going, eventually you'll have another one. And another one, and another one, and another one. And they won't stop until you die. You will keep on learning. So wherever you are in your recovery journey, whether you just started, whether you're days, weeks, months, years in, just keep on learning. And things will get better.